Hi again. Well, I have shaved basically, and well, this is actually one day after I have recorded the last part. Personally, I think I look better this way, and I have been a little bit lazy because of the COVID, but I decided to uh, just get shaved um, uh, today morning. Not, I don't want to be well lazy anymore in that sense. Anyway, uh, last time we have left at the point where I have described the value of education and how it is also related to the money people are willing to pay for it. Well, um, can education's value be zero? It can be. If it is zero, it means, people look to the education just as, in that case, uh, just potential two income stream options. They also don't care, by the way, the effort they put to the education. They just look to to income stream options. And well, since the value of education is zero for those people, they are just indifferent between those options. So they might take education or not take the education. But if it is just a little bit above zero, they will take the education in that case. Um, Education's value might be negative. In that case, if the education is free, even if it is free, the person won't take that education. Um, of course, uh, if education's value is negative, now you can let that person get the education if you pay to that person money also. So I just want to go and use Excel again to show you how the model for the education is working. If this was a classroom in-class education, I would ask you at this point, how much do you think a person will live? But let's assume, um, actually not live, but work basically. To up to what age the person will work. Let's assume the answer is I take the maximum possible point, 88. I could take 90, but 88 makes things easier a little bit. The good thing is, at the age 18, let's say at the age 19, the person will start to work. And we might get every year by adding to 91. We assume the income is taken every year, which is not a right assumption actually. But we could also do it for monthly income, but it will be a little bit more complex, even though it is doable. But I think this calculation gives the basic idea. So, and since we are not making a calculation for real life, this is good enough in my opinion. So this is year. So we need to have certain variables that should be fixed, basically. Let's go a little bit down. So, income level without education. This is college education, and with education of that person. This income, well, what does it depend to? It might depend on the skill level of the person. It might depend on overall conditions in the economy. If there is more demand for unskilled labor, the income of people without education might rise. Otherwise, it might go down. It might also depend, by the way, to the connections of that person, because in some cases, if you have more connections, you can find job where you are more productive. So your education in that case might pay off because your ability to find job where you can use that education is higher. Other people might only find jobs where that education doesn't pay off that much. But skill level is one certainly factor, and usually that's from the mainstream economics most highlighted factor, by the way. So with education, the income, this is yearly income, by the way, and you get at the end of the year, of course, that income. Let's say this is $8,000. This is actually $10,000. For United States, this is below poverty line. With education, let's keep this the median wage of United States, $7,000. That's the median wage, which means actually the guy at the right middle. If you rank people from the lowest wage level to highest wage level, the guy in the middle will get 70,000. Although I should check whether the number is still the same. But it was more or less that. Maybe it has gone down or up a little bit. So interest rates. You can also name discount rate, but I keep the name. Let's say 0, for now, 25. So what does interest rate depend to? Well, this might be a personal evaluation. The guy might just like to spend as much income as possible at his younger ages rather than spend money, rather than get higher amount of money in the future and spend that money later. But it might also depend on the people's living conditions. For example, if you have wealth, or if you have wealth, that wealth might provide you some income stream anyway. I mean, if not income stream, at least the money you can spend onto. In that case, you are actually losing money progressively. You are not earning any money, but that wealth may allow you to survive at that period. Also, it might be possible that, again, as I said before, I think certain people might have urgent expenses like education expenses, basically. Well, families might provide you money or at least living space, food, some basic. They might meet certain expenses, certain needs. On the other hand, in some cases also, the families might need your you to earn money, for example, especially if at a very young age in the United States this happens at 18, 19, you are married and have children. I mean, in that case, you cannot wait for years. I mean, immediate expenses will pile up and you might need to earn money immediately. So conditions of the people might very well also affect this interest rate. For the wealthy people, this interest rate is likely to go lower. For the low-income people and people from low-income family also, and low wealth level families, this interest rate is likely to be higher. They would rather get income immediately because they need that income for their basic needs. For wealthy people, the wealth already provide them a resource to get those basic needs. But let's start with 0.25. So with high school, assume that the guy will make the decision at the year at this age 18 and get first payment 1 year later at 19. So high school income is equal to this amount. I need a dollar sign. I found it. I should divide this to 1 plus the interest rate, which is this. Again, I need dollar sign. I need to take everything to parentheses. And since the decision is made at the year 18, we need to subtract from this year 19, basically 18. So this is the value of the income the guy will earn in the year year 19. There is some problem. Okay, this is 8, not 18. So $8,000. Well, $10,000 the guy is going to earn 1 year later is worth at the year 18 $8,000. Of course, when we go to successive years, the value will fall since the value is still given at the year 18. So the income that will be earned 80 years later is not even 1 cent worth. I mean $0.001 worth. So let's sum everything. So with high school degree, the income the guy is going to earn in his whole life is worth for him $40,000, around $40,000. Okay, with college, let's assume the guy is not paying anything to the college. In that case, for the first 4 years, in the United States, you don't go to prep school. Your income is 0. Let's assume the guy is expected to graduate at the end of the 4th year. After that, basically, the guy is started to earn this money, $70,000. I should divide this to 1 plus the interest rate. I should have the dollar signs. Now I should subtract from 23, 18. The first money will be get 5 years later, because you will start at the end of the 22nd year and get the money 1 year later. So the $70,000 is worth $22,937. It is significantly less than 70,000, but still, if you look to the numbers, you will easily see that college income will worth more for this guy. But let's make the calculation and let's make the summation. So the college income worth from the year 18, before even the guy starts to the college, $114,000, a little bit more than that. So what is the value of education? This is also the amount the guy is willing to pay. Note that this value is subjective. Interest rate, income without education, income with education, they can all change for different people. Some people, like rock stars, for example, might have very high income without education. So there can be some average numbers, but these numbers change for everyone. So for everyone, this value of education is ultimately different. And according to neoclassical analysis, which is right by itself, although there are certain interesting questions which are, in my opinion, left behind, how individuals decide whether get education or not get education. So value of education in this case is $75,687.88 approximately. So approximately $75,000. So this guy will pay for the education, will get education if it is free, and even we need to pay this amount of money if basically to get the education, basically. We are very close to the end of this part, so let's discuss this further in the next part.